don't know my cousin Chachi.
There's your little boyfriend.
Hold your breath. How you doing, Blue Eyes? What are you selling today, shrimp? Oh, no, I sold all the shrimp to Alfred. But for you, I got no smear lipstick. We can test it out later. Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah. How can we forget that iconic role of Chachi from Happy Days and Charles being in charge of our lives? Being a 45-year-old guy, I remember all of those great moments. My next guest, Scott Baio, he's helping now to lead the fight for conservative actors and also push back against censoring by those social media giants and the lamestream media. Hi, Scott. Welcome to Real America. How are you, sir?
Thank you, Dan. Good to be here. Just want to give a shout out to our good friend and mediocre golfer, Paula Tricky.
That's right. Paula connected you and I, Lorenzo, yes. Antonio, Kevin, Dean, Christie, all you guys are on that, which I think is amazing, that celebrity golf kind of tour every year. You guys do so many things around the country to help different charities. So thank you for what you're doing. And Paul, if you're watching, thanks for connecting all these celebs with Real America. We appreciate it. Let's get right to it, Scott. You've been outspoken since 16 when you spoke at the RNC and way before that, but I would say you took more center stage when you put yourself out there. How's it been the last 4 years for you, being a Hollywood actor, but being a conservative and a supporter of our president?
Well, as you can imagine, it's been the social media realm has been fairly brutal. I don't care. They've called me every name under the sun. I don't care. I'm sure, and I know that I've lost work. I don't care. I have a country that I'd like to save for my child, and that to me is paramount. So I'm in it for the long haul. I believe in President Trump. I believe in his policies, and I believe in the man. So I'm here to fight. I'm fighting for my kid.
I totally agree with you. Got a 13-year-old, and I am so worried about the future of this country and what it's going to become for her when I'm dead and gone. And looking at what this extreme left wing of the party, and I got to believe, and I'm holding on to hope that the entire Democrat Party isn't following suit with this leftist agenda, but they're sure silent. I'm really, really worried about what's going to happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years. So I'm glad that you're another concerned father and patriot out there standing up and fighting. Let's talk about last night's debate. I'm sure you watched your takeaways from the final debate.
I thought President Trump did a really good job, and I'm not saying that because I'm biased. I just try to watch everything as objectively as I can. And I think the most important thing that Trump did was he got Joe Biden to admit that he's going to get rid of oil and fracking. And Joe Biden said, "I never said it." And I'm sitting at home going, "What?"
You're screaming at the
really?
TV.
And Trump played it at his rally, I think the night before, the lie. And I think it was informative. I think it was substantive. I think that it's interesting. My mother had Alzheimer's, Dan, and I watched Joe Biden, and I am telling you, this guy has what my mother had. I hope he doesn't. I pray that he doesn't because it's horrendous. And I really mean that. I hope he doesn't.
No, Scott, I agree with you.
As time went on, he kept tiring and couldn't get his words out. But other than that, I think Trump had a very strong night. And I think he also, I'm glad he brought up the Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, China connection. I'm so glad he brought that up because that's an important topic, and I think the rest of the news media is just completely blacked out on it.
Yeah, I'll get to that in a sec, but I want to back up to what you said about his mental capabilities. During our post coverage last night, if you're watching, I brought that up, and I also said I didn't want to hear any nasty emails that I was making fun of him about a stutter. It's nothing to do with a stutter. If you watch his cognitive reasoning, and as this is not connecting with this, and go back just to the 08, go back to the 96, any election he's went for before, he was sharp as a tack, and the stutter was not even there. But now there is a problem. You see the eyes are closing, and he's trying to remember exactly what wants to come out of his mouth, and he can't get it out, or he slurs. That has nothing to do with the stutter. There is something going on up there mentally, and like you said, I hope for his family it's not dementia or Alzheimer's, but I've had family friends that have had it, some that are going through it right now, and it sure looks like it to me. Let's touch on the scandal real quick, because that is the story of, I think, the decade, but nobody wants to cover it. How much more evidence do we need? We've got people on the board of the one company saying those are real emails. We got now the business partner talking to the FBI today saying it's real. I got cell phone information, the store owner, it's his. How much do we need? It's real.
It's real, and it's actually quite shocking and disgusting and sad that none of the other media outlets will cover it. Could you imagine if this were if this was Don Jr. or Eric, and a guy like Bobulinski came out and said the things that they said about Hunter Biden and his dad, they said that about Trump? They investigated Trump for 3.5 years about Russia. They got nothing. And now Biden last night said that it's Russia disinformation. So are we to believe that Vladimir Putin sent a guy to a computer fix-it shop somewhere in Delaware and implanted some of that information on it? I mean, what friggin' planet are we living on? The fact that nobody's covering this is disgusting to me. And I don't even know. This is not the America that I grew up in. This is not the America that our founding fathers gave us. It is just absolutely horrendous.
Yep. Scott, I'm in total agreement with you, man. And I appreciate you having the guts to stand up, speak out. And like you said at the beginning of this interview, you don't care that people might dislike you. You don't care you might be losing work, because you know this is the right thing to do, is to stand up for the America that you and I think the majority of Americans know and love before it's taken away from us. Scott Baio, thank you so much for joining Real America, man. Again, thanks to Paula for connecting all of us on the show. You take care of yourself. Be safe. Go spend some time with the family. I know that we're taking you away from them, so I really appreciate the few minutes you gave us, brother.
God bless.
God bless you. Thank you, Scott. Before we head to break, folks, I want to take just a moment to remind the entire country that today is a very somber day. You may or may not remember, but this is a very sad day for the Marine Corps. Let us never forget our fallen heroes. It was October 23rd, 1983, when the Marine barracks was attacked in Beirut, Lebanon. 305 people were killed. 241 of them were brave United States Marines.